A 17-year-old pianist from Vancouver has captured a prestigious prize in the UK. Ryan Wang is the winner of the 2024 BBC Young Musician Competition, and the Eton College student was hailed for his flawless technique in performing Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto. Ryan is no stranger to being in the public eye. As a 5-year-old prodigy, he actually performed on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. Fortunately for Vancouver classical music lovers, Ryan will be returning to his hometown of Vancouver for a concert at the Chan Shun Concert Hall at UBC. On November 15th, he will perform with the Vancouver Metropolitan Orchestra for the 22nd season Classics and Pops concert. Thanks for joining me, Ryan.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Let's start with this BBC Young Musician Competition. Um, why did you decide to go with Rachmaninoff for this?
Um, so, well, of course, Rock 2 is, it's one of the most popular and most loved pieces of classical music, and there's definitely a reason why. And I wanted to play something by Rachmaninoff because in the earlier rounds, I'd played Chopin, I'd played Ligeti, I'd played Liszt. I feel like there was just something missing, and Rachmaninoff just seemed to be the final piece of the puzzle, the final bit of my artistry that I wanted to show to the jury. And I think there's no better piece to play than with, the BBC National Orchestra of Wales and the Great Bristol Beacon. And it's the piece symbolizes new hope and new beginning. And this competition symbolized that as well for me. So I think that piece was just a perfect choice for this competition.
And I'm wondering how winning this competition has affected your life.
Well, actually, the competition itself was on September 24th, but it was broadcasted on the 20th of October, so like 2 days ago. So
Did you have to keep it secret over that
yeah, it was a
period?
secret. Yeah, it was a secret. So
Did you tell your mom or?
oh yeah, my family was there. There were, I think, like 1,800 people at the hall.
Oh,
So
okay.
they obviously knew, but apart from that, I think no one was allowed to tell anyone. So it was kind of people were asking me, what happened? What happened? I was like, sorry, I cannot tell you, that was going on a lot. But I've received so many messages from so many people, and I haven't been able to read all of them, but it's so incredibly inspiring when I do, read these messages from people and all my friends and family who have supported me. And yeah, I mean, I got to share some of this journey with obviously my professors and my family, but also with my friends. So for the final episode, BBC
Well, you
actually
must
came.
have many friends in Vancouver too.
Yes, yeah, yeah. They I don't think, well, the thing is, I was in the UK, so I wasn't really able to
Yeah.
get the TV, but my friends in the UK, they got to have some screen time, in the final. So it was quite fun for them. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing when you think of some of the previous people who've won it too. You're in very good company.
Well, they're I mean, they're world-class musicians,
Yeah.
and they're people who I look up to. So I'm very honored to be joining this list of prestigious.
I'm wondering, Ryan, how does this compare to being, on the Ellen DeGeneres show so many years ago as a 5-year-old?
Um, well, that time there was almost no like self-awareness, because it was
Yeah.
I was so young. This time it's about what I had to say, what I wanted to get across through my music to the audience. And that was the most important thing for me this time.
And what were you trying to convey through the music?
Um, well, the competition itself is, BBC Young Musician, not BBC Young Pianist or BBC, Young Violinist or anything. So it's about just the complete artistic portfolio which you want to present to the jury. And because, it's televised and so many people watch it, I think allowing your music to be accessible and allowing your music to speak to everyone, that's what was really important for me. And, at the end of the day, music is universal, and uh it's about the shared human connection which you allow yourself to convey on the stage and in the moment. So that was kind of searching for that magic was really what I was trying to aim for.
Well, that's fantastic. And you also have a history with the Vancouver Metropolitan Orchestra. And I'm wondering what it'll mean for you to be reunited, with the music director
Yeah.
and conductor Ken Shea at the Chance Center in Vancouver.
Yeah, so last time I played with them was in 2018. Um, I played, I think, Beethoven's second piano concerto, and this time it's Chopin's first concerto, E minor. Um, Ken is amazing. I mean, I remember admiring him very greatly, even when I was, how old was I? I think I was 10. Um, so, I mean, when you're that young, I think when you look up to someone, it's just a natural, just, you can sense that that they can really lead the orchestra and lead you as well as a soloist. And it's been 6 years, so I'm very interested to see how he's changed as conductor, how I've changed as a soloist working together with him. And this time it's in the Chan Center, so it's a really big space. And I just can't wait to share this wonderful music with him and the audience.
Well, I saw Ken last spring with Katine in the Chan Center, and it was incredible. You had young people were lined up all the way down the hall of the Chan
Wow.
Center
Yeah,
to have their
it wasn't.
picture taken selfies with Katine and getting his autograph. So I'm wondering if you may be in for the same treatment this time in light of everything you've done, Ryan. So you better get ready for it. That's
Thank you very much.
I'm wondering, like when you were younger, and maybe you didn't have the self-awareness, but what it was like to always be called a prodigy, and whether that imposed any expectations on you or made your life challenging in any way.
Um, I guess my musical journey was very much in a healthy environment where um growing and learning was a big part of it. And the term prodigy was, I think, used a lot on TV or social media, but in my regular day-to-day life, I rarely heard the term prodigy used to
Hmm.
describe me. It was so it wasn't something that I felt was imposed upon me. It was just you know, and I mean, I never consider myself a prodigy because I think that's for real, kind of geniuses. And for me, it's just about um, saying what I want to say through music, and that's all that I've ever, really focused on. Um, and I think, yeah, now I'm just trying. I mean, musicianship is a lifelong journey, and piano was quick for me to pick up, and pieces were easy for me to pick up, quickly at a young age. But that's just the beginning of a very long journey of self-discovery. And so I think there's a lot more to artistry than just, the first kind of couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And where do you think your ability comes from? Do you think, were you born
Uh,
with it? Is it part of your soul, or does it also come from a massive amount of work? Like,
well, I think certainly the natural connection that, people feel to music, that has to come from within. And that's, I think, a combination of multiple factors. So, first of all, um, the life experiences you've had. So I think it's great that I get to, I'm privileged enough to go to a high school. I'm allowed to, travel around to give performances because these all enrich my artistry. I love skiing. I love, going cliff jumping. Like, all these experiences just infuse my artistry with, boldness, passion, and just, all these exciting, exhilarating emotions that I feel through music are connected with these sports and these experiences that I have, So I think that really kind of, yeah, just inspires me through my music, and also just an understanding of the world as well, about the cultural and historical context that have shaped the pieces that I play, and then coming to my own conclusion when all these factors are at my disposal, just where the phrase goes. And that's in the end up to the artist in the moment, what to do, and each time it can be different, but just having all these options and having the creativity to come up with these options is what I think um, music is all about.
That's very interesting. It makes me wonder how all of that will manifest itself in the interpretation of Mozart with the VMO.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Maybe you can't put that into words. I don't know. It just
Yeah,
comes out in the music.
yes, yeah.
And is there anything about that particular piece that appeals to you, or why you're excited to do this?
Yeah, so the Chopin is, I think,
Oh, you're
one
doing
of
Chopin. I thought you said you're doing.
oh no, I'm doing Chopin. I'm doing Chopin
Oh,
with the beat.
oh, you did Mozart earlier, did you? Is that right?
I did Beethoven in
Oh,
2018.
Beethoven. Okay, you're doing Chopin. Sorry about that. I
I love
missed it.
Mozart,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, next
Okay,
time.
it's Chopin. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Chopin's
Chopin
so
next
deeply emotional. It's
time. Yeah, so it's it's an incredibly personal work. All of Chopin's works, I think, are very personal. But this piece is uh the melodies are incredible. I mean, the first time I heard the second subject in the first movement was just enlightening. So this piece for me is, definitely one of my most favorite concertos that there is. It's got, I think, everything. It encompasses so much of Chopin. It has the dance element in the third movement. It has, this very lonely element as well, and the slow sections, and it really just speaks to the soul. So that's kind of what has drawn me so much to his piano concertos.
that's interesting. And when you were younger and you saw Ken as the conductor and the music director, did you look upon him as a role model in any way?
Um, I just remember him being such a passionate conductor, he was, I mean, I still remember I asked him if he worked out because, he's conducting so much with, his body, and he was so into
Oh,
the
so
music.
much movement. Yeah.
Well, it was like, I was like, he must be finding all this energy from somewhere, It's like, he, and I remember he conducted in the same concert, he conducted, I think, Eroica Symphony with no sheet music at all. And I was in the audience and I just thought, wow, like he can memorize, so much music for so many different instruments. And, he knew exactly, where, like what happened where. And I think looking up to these conductors has also really given me an appreciation of the orchestral parts in different concertos, and how I need to work with these conductors to really make the music work, because it can be, especially in the first rehearsal, it can be incredibly daunting, that there's so many orchestra members and you're the soloist, and if you can make it work, I think the soloist can really stand out while also blending in at the same time. And that's
Interesting.
where magic can happen. Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, what advice you might have for young kids who are struggling to learn the piano, and if there's anything that you experience that kind of unlocked it for you.
Well, I think I I mean, obviously my story started when I was very young, and but I just think, it's never too late to, follow or even find your passion, and it doesn't have to be in music. It can be in anything else, drama, sport, visual art as well, design. It can be in anything. And I have so many friends who have different passions, and they're all so unique in their own way. And it's about finding your own path, your own voice, and just staying true to yourself. I mean, my teachers always say I'm very stubborn, with all my ideas and stuff, but that's in a way kind of the point in the end, that's about finding your own voice and crafting your own narrative, not only, through music for me, but through my life, So just find your passion and follow it, no matter what it is. Yeah.
I'm also wondering, Ryan, what you might have learned from your family as you were growing up that has given you kind of the capacity to do what you do.
Yeah, so first of all, just very, very good food. So all my family members, I think, are very good cooks. So an appreciation for food, really, I think. Uh, I mean, I love trying new foods in every country I go to. I mean, I was just in Poland on Saturday, so I mean, there's this potato pancakes with beef stew, which I just love every single time I go to Poland. Um, so it's just like finding the excitement in new things, just I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to get to, is just even in the little things in life, to find the appreciation in that. Just like, a small note in a piece of music can change, the whole point that you're trying to get across. So yeah, and also just other support that they've given me. I mean, my mom especially does incredibly long hours traveling with me and sorting out all the admin and everything. So that is incredibly taxing, and it's the work of a full-time manager that she does along with her you know her own passions and her own goals. So it's I just I just need to search within myself, kind of, play the keys, but they kind of just support me, and they, really um make sure everything is in a very healthy, happy environment, and everything, is kind of, especially during the BBC on Musician, they were made sure everything was perfect for me, and then I just went to rehearsal, went to play, eat with them, have a good time, and then but they really made sure everything was ran smoothly. Yeah.
Interesting. And I don't know if this is the case or not. I haven't looked at all the lists of winners, but I'm curious whether, like, are you a first in terms of being of Asian ancestry to win this award?
Um,
Or do you know?
I think there was I haven't familiarized myself completely with the list of past winners, but I do know of an Asian female pianist called Lauren Zhang, who won the competition some years ago, quite recent, I think. So I'm very I remember watching her performance when I was young, and she was very, very inspiring to watch. Um, yeah. but there were so many other like Sheku Mason, Benjamin Grosvenor, Nicola Benedetti. All these people are musicians who I've followed for years and admired for years, and it's just so I just feel so honored to be.
And
A,
and where do you see you're still in school, right? That's my impression. And you still have a few years to go, is that correct? Or
yeah, I'm in my final year now.
oh, you're in
Yeah.
your final year. Where do you see your career going from here after you get out of school?
Um, I um, I'm not too sure yet. I hope I can continue, to perform for, many, many more people in the coming years. Um, I will continue to work hard. And yeah, I just hope that I can share my music with more people.
And are you thinking about writing your own compositions for an album or anything like that? Or are you still playing the masters or
I think I think I would be doing the composers I play a disservice by playing my own compositions when their works are so great. So
no,
I
okay.
I'll continue to play their work because their works are masterpieces. Yeah.
So you're not ready to replace
Uh,
Chopin then.
I I don't think I have a talent like Chopin. Yeah. No,
Okay. Well, this is
no.
wonderful, Ryan. Is there anything else you'd like to add or anything I've neglected to ask?
No, just thank you very much for taking the time to interview me
Oh,
and
it's my pleasure. It's great to draw attention to your return to Vancouver and also for the Vancouver Metropolitan Orchestra. So I've been speaking with Ryan Wang. He will be the guest soloist with the Vancouver Metropolitan Orchestra on November 15th, and Ryan will perform with the orchestra at the Chan Shun Concert Hall at UBC.